Right now, lines so long for COVID testing, they needed cops directing traffic as Dane County reaches its highest level of cases since the pandemic began.
Also, Wisconsin political reporters reflect on 2021 and look ahead to what figures to be a very interesting new year.
Also, we'll take you live to Las Vegas for a final word from the Badger football team before their Thursday night bowl game battle with the Arizona State Sun Devils. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. We have breaking news just into our newsroom. There is a significant natural gas leak in the city of Juneau.
It started with a crash on Highway 26. People in a 1-mile radius of that crash are being evacuated at this hour, and gas and electricity to the city has been shut off to the entire community.
Because the gas may be off for a long time, possibly overnight. There is a warming shelter being set up at Sacred Heart Catholic Church. We have a crew on the way there. We will have updates online and in our later newscasts as well. Well, yesterday's storm brought a few inches of snow to much of Dane County, and more is on the way.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is tracking our next round of snow. He's out on the weather patio with the latest. Gary?
Well, the good news is it'll still be a couple of days off, so we'll have a couple of days to chip away the ice and shovel what snow is on the sidewalks and on the driveways. But as we take a look at visible cloud track, you can kind of tell the snow cover on there. This is the camera view from the satellite, and the white that doesn't move, that's the snow on the ground. Now, there have been some mid and high level clouds coming in from the west, and the clouds have actually been lowering and thickening a little bit during the afternoon hours. And in fact, we do have some light snow showers and flurries moving through much of southwestern Wisconsin into parts of eastern Iowa and northern Illinois. I think the bulk of the snow will stay to our south, but can't rule out some isolated snow showers as well as flurries, at least through the evening hours as that system passes by. You can see pinpoint visibilities, though, still right around 10 miles, indicating the snow is not coming down very hard. Low temperatures this morning had a big range. Southeastern Wisconsin was near 30. Temperatures were below zero out toward La Crosse. And here in Madison, we dropped to 17, but our western viewers were a lot colder. High temperatures today were actually early this morning in the middle 30s, and now we're right around 20 degrees with teens already to our north and west, and wind chills that are in the teens and single digits across parts of southern Wisconsin. By tomorrow, we do have alert days in the forecast for Saturday and for Sunday, for occasional snow on Saturday with some accumulation, and then bitterly cold temperatures for Sunday. Look for a low tonight of about 14, high temperature tomorrow of about 31, so not quite as cold. I'll have more on the weekend system in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. Stay up to date on the latest road and weather conditions in your area through our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather.
Dane County health officials say COVID cases are reaching an all-time high. As of this afternoon, Dane County's 7-day average of new cases sat at 494.
That is the highest it has been since the pandemic began. And according to UW Health, the Omicron variant is now the dominant COVID strain here in Wisconsin.
And the Delta variant is the lighter red color on the graph that you see here. And the darker red bars on the right represent the Omicron variant.
Now you can see in Wisconsin, it took Omicron only a few weeks before it became the dominant variant in our state.
And COVID cases are also rising rapidly in Wisconsin jails. Just this week, public health officials visited the Dane County Jail to offer their recommendations about how the jail can slow the spread of COVID. As of last Thursday, 51 of the jail's 552 residents tested positive. That is about 10%. Almost 40% of residents are vaccinated. We've requested updated numbers but haven't received them yet for this week. Once someone in the jail tests positive, they are isolated. Contact tracing begins. To reduce the number of COVID cases, public health recommends updating isolation and quarantine guidelines and offering more vaccinations and testing for residents. As the Omicron variant continues to spread, area residents are finding testing options in short supply. Demand has grown so much for the Fitchburg Family Pharmacy's drive-through testing that Fitchburg police had to get involved and help managing traffic there. According to a Facebook post, the police department asking people to enter the testing line from Fish Hatchery Road at Caddis Bend. They also asked drivers to follow the signs and cones to the testing area in the pharmacy's parking lot. You can find the required QR code for testing on the pharmacy's website.
So we haven't done less than 400 tests since right the week before Christmas, and we've averaged around 450 tests a day for our full days that we're here.
Health officials continue to urge residents to get vaccinated, get boosted. Right now, just over 77% of Dane County residents have completed their initial vaccine series. New COVID cases aren't just climbing here in Wisconsin, they are rising all across the U.S.
In the wake of the holiday travel surge, health experts are bracing for more COVID hospitalizations. Isabel Rosales has the details.
In these last days of 2021, Omicron is ushering in an all-time record high of new COVID-19 cases.
Omicron's like nothing we've seen before.
The 7-day average, more than 250,000 new cases a day. Meanwhile, encouraging preliminary data suggests that Omicron is less severe than Delta.
We should not become complacent since our hospital system could still be stressed in certain areas of the country.
Hospitalizations and deaths have not risen as quickly as new cases. Health experts say they are lagging indicators. Renewed worries about young children, especially for those not eligible for vaccination. On average, more than 300 children are hospitalized with COVID a day.
When you're talking about a virus that may be as transmissible as measles among a mostly unvaccinated population. And so that's going to be very rough.
COVID-19 tests are increasingly hard to find.
We sat in the car for 2.5 hours, and then finally the policeman came and said no more.
A new update about rapid at-home tests. The FDA says lab studies show they may be less effective in detecting the Omicron variant.
The tests are still worthwhile. Don't let anybody think that the FDA was saying the tests are no longer good.
In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
The CDC predicts more than 44,000 people could die from COVID-19 in the next 4 weeks. That would bring the total number of deaths in the U.S. to more than 866,000. It would also increase the average of deaths per day from 1,500 to 1,800. That's according to Johns Hopkins University.
Next at 5, Chandler Halderson was in court today for a jury status hearing. The Windsor man accused of killing and dismembering his parents earlier this year. Today, the judge clarified some instructions for the jury and set some guidelines for his trial, which starts on Monday. It is expected to last 3 weeks. News 3 Now will have live continuing coverage of the trial streaming at channel3000.com and through our social media pages and our News 3 Now app. One man in custody after police say he fired a crossbow at a Wisconsin Dells police officer. Officers arrived at a residence around midnight for reports of a disturbance. They found a man barricaded inside a bedroom with a woman. He told police he was armed and threatened to shoot the woman. Officers entered the home after negotiations for the woman's release broke down. The man then fired a crossbow at a tactical team member. Police were able to restrain and arrest the suspect. No one was injured in that incident.
2 people were arrested this morning after police say they crashed a stolen vehicle in Brittingham Park. Police say the vehicle was reported stolen from Verona, and it was later spotted in Madison around 6:30 this morning. An officer tried to pull the car over, but the driver sped off. Police say the vehicle hit a patch of ice and crashed into a tree in the park. The 2 suspects tried to run but were arrested and taken to a hospital as a precaution. Well, every week this year, it's been a new political headline in Wisconsin, and usually a divisive one. Behind the headlines, the reporters.
And Naomi Cole sat down with 4 of them to break it all down. Patrick Marley of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Emily Fannin of CBS 58 Milwaukee, Scott Bauer of the Associated Press, and Laurel White from Wisconsin Public Radio. Here's a glimpse of what to expect.
I'm about to ask the most obvious question in the world. What's the big headline of 2022?
We're a year after the 2020 election. It's been looked at every single way you can imagine, and the results have been confirmed, and yet we're continuing to do more review.
I think it goes between either Ron Johnson is going to run again or not run again.
The eyes of the nation are on Wisconsin with that one again.
And we can't forget about the governor's race. I mean, is Wisconsin going to vote a Republican governor?
If Republicans win, they will retain the majority in the legislature, most likely, and that will give them free access to pass whatever they want to pass.
Since Tony Evers took office, he really has sort of been the, for lack of a better word, sort of a goalie against the Republican-controlled legislature. He's blocked a lot of policies that they've wanted to enact.
We're always seems to be at the center of national politics. We will again in 2022.
And join Naomi and her panelists this Sunday on For the Record after Face the Nation. She'll take you through the twists and turns of a long and divisive year in state politics and what you need to know going into 2022.
We have breaking news right now. British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell has been found guilty of sex trafficking. She's been convicted of helping to lure young teenage girls to be sexually abused by the late Jeffrey Epstein. Jurors deliberated for a full 5 days before finding Maxwell guilty. She faces decades behind bars.
Well, if you were out and about this holiday season, you may have noticed traffic is up at your local mall.
But is the mall seeing enough traffic to keep going after the holiday season? Tahlil Moeddin joins us live to share how mall officials say they are recovering from the pandemic. Tahlil?
Well, traffic is up at Westtown Mall, and not just here, it's also up at Easttown and Hilldale as well. It's in line with what we're seeing nationwide. About 14% of retail sales have gone up by 14% since last year. Now here at Madison, Westtown marketing director says the numbers are so good, they're surpassing even pre-pandemic levels. He says after a challenging couple of years, people want the mall experience back.
I think what this last couple of years has shown us is that there is this really meaningful human connection that happens, especially among families, that when they can go out and they can enjoy a day out and they can shop.
There are still some pandemic-related challenges like limited supply issues, but when it comes to customers, having access to vaccines and booster shots have given many the confidence to find their way back. Now, I asked officials at the mall if they're concerned that this is just kind of a wave of enthusiasm that'll pass. They say they're confident it's long-term.
All right, Tahlil live at Westtown tonight. Tahlil, thank you. And coming up next, the Las Vegas Bowl just 1 day away.
After the break, we'll check in with the Badgers to hear how the team is preparing. And later, Waukesha city officials are planning a more permanent memorial for the victims of the Christmas parade tragedy. We'll have those details coming up at 6.
And the Wall Street mixed numbers for a second day in a row as the Dow adds more than 90, but the NASDAQ loses 15.5. The S&P gains almost 7. And we'll be right back.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale on now. Get top name brands of furniture for every room in your house with Serta Queen sets from $3.99 and always free delivery. The Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale, open New Year's Day 11 to 4.
Are you okay?
Oh, it's just a cold. If you have high blood pressure, a cold is not just a cold. Unlike other cold medicines, Coracetin provides powerful cold relief without raising your blood pressure. Be there for life's best moments with Coracetin, now in sugar-free liquid.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here. Aspercream arthritis. Huh. Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation. Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream. When the hands that do the fixing need fixing. When the hands that do the caring need caring. That's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this so I can get to them.
Easy Prep Cook and Clean with Reynolds Wrap.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down and it's flat. Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale on now. Get top name brands of furniture for every room in your house with custom sofas from $7.99 and always free delivery. the Portage Furniture Store's New Year's sale. Open New Year's Day, 11 to 4.
The Badgers are rolling the dice for a win in the Las Vegas bowl game.
We'll have a preview tomorrow morning from Vegas.
And a possible winter storm for the weekend. We're going to break that down tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Wisconsin Politics 2021.
What genuinely surprised you this year?
News 3 Now's Naomi Coles leads a panel of state political journalists to help make sense of a chaotic year and preview what's to come in 2022. Tonight at 6. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
All right, one day left. Fingers crossed. All indications point to the Badgers and Sun Devils actually playing that game in Las Vegas despite COVID canceling many other bowl games.
Today, tight end Jake Ferguson said the pandemic taught him one key thing: learn to appreciate every game you get. That's pretty wise.
Yeah, it is. And Lane Kimball live in Las Vegas tonight where the team spoke with reporters one final time before tomorrow night's game. Lane?
Well, guys, just how important is the Las Vegas Bowl to Paul Chryst? According to the coach, very. It's both a chance for his seniors to get one final win, but also a chance for some younger players to gain some invaluable experience. With the tangible prize standing in front of him, Badgers coach Paul Chryst spoke a lot about the intangibles of what this week means.
Grateful for one more opportunity, last opportunity for this team to be able to play.
While the Las Vegas Bowl wasn't the preseason goal, tight end Jake Ferguson knows Thursday's game against Arizona State is important.
I mean, it's always good to get one in the W column, but I think finishing this one off, ending this season with this team, this is a special team. Gone through a lot of adversity.
Adversity that includes dealing with COVID, something that's keeping starting fullback John Chanel and some other players home.
I've loved and appreciated the way the guys have approached everything, and certainly we're aware of it, and you know, we've had some players that not on the trip because of it, but you just kind of roll with it.
Arizona State is rolling with the punches too, heading into a game against Wisconsin without its starting running backs and corners.
We just prepare for the opponent, and we're playing a very good opponent. They've been very consistent all season.
That's thanks in large part to star tailback Braylon Allen, who's piled up 1,100 yards and 12 touchdowns, essentially in 8 games.
The game's going to be one up front, so it's about who wants it more. Do they want it more than us, or do we want it more than them?
On a sun-soaked bowl game eve, there's still a full day to contemplate that before the Sun Devils and the favored Badgers enter Allegiant Stadium for the first time.
We've had the opportunity to play at some stadiums similar and things like that, and you know, it's always exciting to go see them all and to kind of play in the NFL stadiums, because obviously that's a lot of people's goals.
Badgers will get a chance to walk through Allegiant Stadium for the very first time tomorrow morning, about 8 hours before kickoff. And speaking of that stadium, someone who knows an awful lot about playing inside of there has some pointers for his former team. We will hear from him tonight at 6 o'clock. For now, covering the Badgers live in Las Vegas, Lane Kimball, News 3 Now.
And look at Lane with the gloves on. He didn't know it was going to be this cold in Vegas. It's going to be chilly for those Sun Devils. The Badgers will be ready for it. Lane, thank you.
Jump around at the pep rally. That'll warm you up. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti. Gary?
Well, it got cold here. Now that we have some snow on the ground, you can see much of the northern and central portions of the Midwest are covered with snow. The only exception is the western portion of Iowa, but we now have several inches of snow on the ground, and that made a big difference in low temperatures this morning. Here in Madison, we dropped to 17 degrees, but notice farther out to the west, temperatures were below zero, teens below zero, 20s below zero once you start getting into North Dakota. And they have wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings again tonight for wind chills that could drop to between 25 and 45 degrees below zero. For the time being, that cold air will stay just to our north, but that could be a factor later on into the early part of the new year. Doppler track right now shows some light snow showers and flurries moving through southwestern Wisconsin. Nothing really to worry about, not looking for any accumulations. But while we're looking at snow here, look what's going on down to the south. More severe weather, more tornado watches. They could see several rounds of severe weather today, tomorrow, and then another one as we head toward New Year's Day, as we're expecting winter storm in our part of the Midwest. They could be looking at another severe weather outbreak down to the south. 3 things you need to know in the forecast: just some snow showers and flurries for tonight, dry weather for tomorrow and for New Year's Eve Friday, and then that snow for Saturday, accumulating snow likely, and then very cold, bitter cold temperatures for Sunday. In fact, as we look at future track snowfall from the long-range computer models, yesterday the heavier snow is just to our south. It's shifted a little farther to the south. And this is understandable because that bulk of the cold air that's been up to the north may push that snow a little farther to the south. So again, we're still looking at several inches of snow accumulation. The heaviest snow is going to be more likely across, say, southern Iowa into parts of northern Illinois. Another one of the longer range computer models, again, the heaviest band of snow just to our south, but several inches into southern Wisconsin. It'll also be windy, and with temperatures in the teens, it'll be a light, fluffy snow that could be blown around pretty easily, and then the cold air follows in behind that. So look for several inches of snow accumulation. That's why we have an alert day in the forecast for New Year's Day, and then for Sunday, bitterly cold temperatures by morning down to below zero, with wind chills as cold as 20 to 25 below zero, and high temperatures only around 10 degrees, and wind chills staying below zero through the day. Current temperatures show a big contrast: 50s and 60s across Kentucky and Tennessee, teens below zero across Montana. We've got about a 70 to 80 degree temperature contrast across that map. That usually means the weather pattern is becoming a little more active, and that's what we're going to see with several storm systems affecting parts of the country the next couple of days. Tomorrow, variable cloudiness, not as cold, high temperature at 31. New Year's Eve will also be quiet with a high of 31 and mostly cloudy skies. Snow will arrive late Friday night, so I don't think it'll disrupt people around midnight for New Year's Eve, although temperatures will be down to around 20. Then look for highs only in the teens with occasional snow and some accumulation on New Year's Day Saturday. Bitterly cold on Sunday. Temperatures rebound for the middle part of next week, and then maybe another chance of snow about Thursday of next week, followed by a little colder weather after that. As we check out first warn traffic, here's the live view on the Beltline at Seminole Highway. There was an accident just on the westbound side. It looks like that has been cleared up, but still, we're still seeing some delays on the westbound side of the Beltline, whereas eastbound traffic has really started to pick up in speed. So still about a 24-minute trip on the westbound Beltline between the Interstate and University Avenue, 16 minutes going back in the eastbound direction. Normal times on the on I-3990 from the Beltline southward to Janesville, US 12 Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now first warn traffic.
All right, Gary, thank you. Up next, a new bill promises to abolish surprise medical bills. We'll have details coming up after the break.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
These days, we're spending more time than ever before at home. Where the perfect pendant can spotlight your newfound skills in the kitchen. Where the right chandelier takes daily dinner from basic to brilliant. And where your decorating choices are all of a sudden illuminated. With Patriot Lighting, your lighting becomes a reflection of your personal style. Modern, sleek, eclectic. Whatever your pleasure, we have hundreds of options to make your home shine a little brighter. Find your style with Patriot Lighting, only at Menards.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're CreditAssociates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914 6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome back. The new year will ring in a new law. Supporters say it'll protect millions of patients by stopping those surprise medical bills.
But some have concerns about a provision in the bill and have filed a lawsuit against the federal government. Mandy Gaither has more.
It's called the No Surprises Act, new federal protections for patients against surprise medical bills.
This has been a pervasive and abusive billing practice by some providers to take advantage of the situations where the patient has no ability to choose.
The law is set to go into effect January 1st. A report from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says it protects patients with most individual and employer insurance plans by no longer allowing them to be balance billed for emergency and certain non-emergency services in most circumstances. Patients will also not be in the middle of billing disputes between providers and insurers. And the Congressional Budget Office predicts the law will reduce health insurance premiums.
We can now go to emergency rooms and get emergency care without worrying about an out-of-network charge.
But the American Hospital Association and American Medical Association have sued the federal government, challenging a provision of the rule issued in September aimed at determining fair payment for services by out-of-network providers. In a joint statement, the organizations say the billing resolution process also should not impede patient access to care by making fewer caregivers available in their insurance network. This is why the AHA and AMA are asking the court to bring the regulations in line with the patient-friendly, balanced approach Congress intended. The lawsuit is not expected to stop the core of the law from moving forward. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The law will require a national hotline to be established where consumers can register complaints about suspected surprise medical billing.
One of the most legendary figures in football of all time has died. John Madden passed away yesterday at the age of 85. Madden coached the Oakland Raiders for 10 seasons before becoming a broadcaster. He won the Lombardi Trophy in Super Bowl 11. As a coach and broadcaster, Madden famously hated to fly. Back in 1987, he started using the Madden Cruiser to travel to games, which made him even more popular. Younger fans, of course, know him from Madden NFL games. That video game series sold more than 130 million copies, known by all generations, as we said, in a different role. John Madden, certainly legendary and will be missed.
A final check of your forecast when we come back.
Watching Madison's fastest growing newscast. News 3 Now at 5.
Ashley Home Store's 72-hour mattress sale is this weekend. Ring in the new year with savings of up to $1,000 on select mattresses. Shop in-stock mattresses up to 65% off and delivered to your door within 5 days. Plus interest-free financing for 5 years on luxury brands. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Annette, and I'm an actress. Under eye bags and wrinkles are so frustrating. They're so hard to hide and so hard to get rid of. I came across Plexiderm, and I was so excited. We have a model. His name is Richie, and all he's doing is taking a small amount. It's so powerful. That's all it takes.
This new year, in just 10 minutes, you'll look incredible.
This is something that you can do in the convenience of your own home. It's a cream. It's a topical. It literally creates an invisible layer that tightens the skin and smooths it out. All you do is gently rub it underneath your eyes, on your fine lines and wrinkles, and it visibly disappears in as little as 10 minutes.
My real true opinion is holy
words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
I can't even believe that this worked. I was a little skeptical, I am not going to lie, because I saw people online with it, and I'm like, yeah, right, that can't possibly work. I'm telling you, it really works.
I thought I might see a little difference, but to see that big of a difference, and I felt something happening, but I had no idea. Like, I have so many dark circles, I have the puffiness, I have the lines. Like, it's amazing. I love it.
I did this to my father at home because I was skeptical. Yes, I admit it. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. The appearance of his under eye bag was completely gone. We were screaming. You have an event, you have any of those moments where you want to feel the best about yourself. I am telling you, the videos that you see on social media and TV are real.
This new year is the best time to get Plexiderm for only $14.95 and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Why consider the COVID-19 vaccine? For all the reasons behind the why. Like being able to hug your grandkids, visit your grandma and grandpa, or hang out with your friends. If you're like most people, you want to get back to normal, everyday living. But all of this depends on putting this pandemic behind us, once and for all. Stoughton Health believes knowledge is power. Get the real vaccine facts at stoughtonhealth.com/fact check.
Ashley Home Store's 72-hour sale is this weekend. Ring in the new year with store-wide savings, including holiday doorbusters and special buys while supplies last. Plus interest-free financing for 5 years. Pay less than $20 a month for a new room you'll love. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Just some light snow showers or flurries, mainly south of Madison this evening. Shouldn't amount to very much.
CBS Evening News coming your way next. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6.